Welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen. I'm a certified weight loss and nutrition coach, and today we're talking about belly fat, the two types of belly fat and how to get rid of it. This is a question I get asked all the time by my coaching clients. Is their belly is their problem area? What can I do to get rid of it? So today we're gonna talk all about it. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed because I upload new content every Tuesday and Thursday. Down in the description box, you will find nutrition coaching. I do offer personalized to you macros and calories. Highly recommend. This is how you know what to eat to lose belly fat and fat in general. I have one-on-one coaching if you would like to chat with me directly. Links, discounts to all of my favorite healthy things are also down in that description box. So let's jump into the two types of belly fat and how to get rid of it. Having some fat in our body, especially having some belly fat, is absolutely normal. Not only does it help keep us warm, but it actually protects our organs. However, having too much belly fat isn't necessarily a good thing and can lead to a lot of different chronic diseases. We want to talk about the two different types of belly fat that exist and how we can get rid of that belly fat. So first, what are the two types? Like I said, there are two types of belly fat. And really, compared to the rest of your body, we don't store a lot of fat in our belly. We might think differently. We may look in the mirror and go, oh, all the fat in my body is stored right there. But in reality, compared to other portions of our body, our belly doesn't contain a lot of the fat. The first kind of fat is subcutaneous fat, or otherwise known as subcutaneous adipose tissue, SAT, is the fat that's found under your skin. Subcutaneous fat is soft and the fat you see jiggling on your belly. In general, women have greater amounts of subcutaneous fat than men. Unlike the fat that's really deep down in your body surrounding your vital organs, subcutaneous fat isn't linked to as many chronic diseases. However, having too much belly fat can lead to chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even certain cancers. The second type of fat is what is known as visceral body fat. And this is that fat that's deeper in your body that surrounds your vital organs. Visceral adipose tissue, or VAT, or visceral belly fat, is the fat that surrounds your internal organs like your kidneys, liver, and pancreas. It's so much deeper in your abdomen than subcutaneous fat. This is commonly referred to as the harmful belly fat. Compared with subcutaneous fat, visceral fat is much more metabolically active. This type of fat contains more cells, blood vessels, and nerves than subcutaneous fat. Visceral fat is actually strongly linked to insulin resistance, that hormone in your body. This regulates your blood sugar levels, and if not controlled, can lead to type 2 diabetes. Visceral fat also is a big contributing factor to inflammation. This can also raise your risk of many diseases. Now, men are more likely to accumulate visceral fat than women. The beer gut, the beer belly, that's a lot of subcutaneous fat, but also visceral fat. Now, women aren't in the clear. We can still have unhealthy, scary visceral fat as well. Men generally carry their weight in their midsection, also known as the apple shape. Now, women carry their weight a lot in their hips, their butt, and their thighs. This is known as the pear shape. Now, body fat distribution for everybody is different. Some people are apple shaped, some people are pear shaped, some people have, even with excess body fat, carry it really well and it's evenly dispersed over their body. We have no control over this. A lot of this has to do with genetics, where your fat is going to be deposited. Now, postmenopausal women, they have a higher amount of visceral fat than premenopausal women. And visceral fat tends to be a little bit higher in individuals that have a European descent than other nationalities. So now that we know what the two types of belly fat are, why is it harmful to our health? Visceral fat, like I said, is the one we want to be concerned about. This is the one that is linked to more health conditions than subcutaneous fat. Even though about 10 to 20% on the average individual is visceral fat, anything above that standard ratio is when it can become a little bit less healthy. This is because visceral fat is active fat, meaning that it produces hormones and other substances, including inflammatory proteins and those substances that can lead to insulin resistance, otherwise known as type 2 diabetes. It can also affect your blood fat. It can also affect your blood fat levels and blood pressure. Another area that visceral fat can attack is your liver. Visceral fat is located near your portal vein, which carries blood from your gastrointestinal tract to your liver for processing. Visceral fat transfers fatty acids, inflammatory proteins, and other dangerous substances to your liver. Visceral fat can lead to inflammation of the liver. So if you suffer from that or question if that's something you suffer from, take a look at your amount of visceral fat. Now, what about your total belly fat and its risk for disease? Well, subcutaneous fat isn't as scary as visceral fat. Any excess fat in the belly area or on our body in general isn't the healthiest. Another thing we want to look at is our waist circumference. Having a larger waist circumference leads to more health issues. It's a great way to assess how much abdominal fat you have, whether it be subcutaneous or visceral. Your waist is a really good indication of how healthy you are and how much excess body fat you may have. Reducing your waist circumference can have huge benefits to your overall health. So now you probably want to know, what evidence-based ways are there to lose belly fat? Before we jump into that, I want you to be aware that you cannot spot fat reduce. You can't go to the gym and say, oh, I'm going to lose fat in my arms or my thighs or my butt or my belly. You can't fat spot reduce, but there are some evidence-based things that you can do that help with that excess belly fat. Number one is to cut out sugary beverages. Drinking too many sugary drinks like soda has been linked to increased visceral fat accumulation and a wider waist circumference. Try swapping sugary drinks with water or sparkling water. You can also get moving. Increasing physical activity may significantly reduce belly fat. Try mixing up your workouts, including high and low intensity aerobic activity, as well as resistance training. All have been shown to reduce belly fat. You can increase your fiber intake. People who follow high fiber diets tend to have less belly fat than those who don't. Plus, transitioning to a higher fiber diet may help you lose excess belly fat. You can cut back on ultra-processed foods. Studies show that frequently eating ultra-processed foods like snack foods, sweets, fast food, and refined grain products are linked to a greater waist circumference. You can also limit your alcohol use. Drinking too much alcohol may harm your overall health in a number of ways, including contributing to excess accumulation of belly fat. Don't skimp on sleep. Poor sleep quality is associated with visceral fat accumulation. Plus, one review, including over 56,000 people, tied shorter sleep duration to a greater waist circumference overall. You can also increase your protein intake. Dietary patterns that are higher in protein may help promote belly fat loss. A review including 23,876 people linked higher protein diets to a smaller waist circumference. And lastly, fill up on whole foods. Again, cutting back on ultra-processed foods and eating mostly whole, minimally processed foods like vegetables, fruits, nuts, beans, and healthy sources of protein and fat may promote overall health and a healthy belly fat level. One other thing you can do is reduce your carb intake just a little bit. This doesn't mean that you eliminate carbs altogether or even follow a low carb diet, but just reduce your carbs a little bit can lead to belly fat loss. Now remember, diets, ways to lose weight, ways to lose belly fat are very, very individualized. That's why I recommend having your macros and calories done so you know what your protein and carb and fat intake should be every single day. Just remember that what works for you may not work for someone else, and what works for someone else may not work for you. Sometimes a low carb diet is the way to go. Sometimes a high carb diet is the way to go. It's really, truly very individualized. So what's the bottom line of today's video? Having excess amounts of belly fat, whether it be subcutaneous or visceral belly fat, isn't healthy. It isn't healthy for your organs. It isn't healthy for your overall body. Fortunately, there are ways to reduce belly fat, like the few we mentioned in today's video. Not to mention incorporating regular exercise, both cardio and strength training, watching your carbohydrates, focusing on protein and fiber. These are all ways that can automatically reduce belly fat and fat on your body overall. If you need additional advice, I recommend, again, purchasing macros and calories, coaching sessions so we can walk through what you need specifically for you to reach your goals. And if you enjoyed today's video, and of course, if you found it helpful, give it a big, huge thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, because again, I upload new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Check out the description box down below for nutrition coaching and links and discounts to my favorite healthy things. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.